Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. We navigated choppy waters on the last run, and we should be a smooth sailor. What is this getup, my dude? First off, definitely gonna peep this. What do I like, what do I not like? I knew we were gonna take a hit there. Let's try not to take two. Came close, actually. I like everything. Really, about this run. Here's our seed, by the way. 7FT, 7F2Y, 3GKF. We have better damage than we had on our last run, and more than double the DPS as a result of our 9 rate of fire. Speed is low, but within the acceptable bounds, where most of the time we're not going to be facing enemies who give us no choice but to take a hit. And honestly, the D8 is really, it's quite decent. I think we'll find this acceptable early on. Any kind of damage augmenter is fine by me. And then Charm of the Vampire? Why not, right? Not amazing, necessarily. But especially early on, you can definitely see the advantage. You might think that that bothers me, but I don't think it matters, to be honest. If you have 2 health and you go down to 1, you're on the hot seat. This does put you closer to being at 1 HP, but 2 HP is A-okay as far as I'm concerned. I don't consider this cause for alarm at all. What I do want to see is some tinted rocks, and you know, it's nice. I would much rather, if you gave me the choice, start on a difficult run than finish on a difficult run. There's different types of people in the world. For sure, but my methodology is very simple. You know, I think when you start on a difficult run, it breeds good habits, you know? For the rest, and there could be, you know, this is why I don't like to argue in generalities, despite that being the exact spirit of our show. But, you know, I could just as easily say, hey, well, you know, when you start with a hard run, it sets expectations, you know, for how you play for the rest of the game. You know, if you play as well as you did on the hard run and got a win, you know, you should be able to win any run for the rest of the day. Sure, fair enough. But you could also say, you know, it's a limited reservoir of mental energy. So if you have a hard run early in the day, that's going to wipe you out, leave you a little bit zonked, more likely to make, you know, mistakes maybe in your future runs because you've exhausted a little bit of that well of self-control. I don't know. That's why I think, you know, a skilled debater, you know, they can argue both positions of an issue convincingly, and that's why I consider it all snake oil. That's why I have no respect for debate. And I'm being sarcastic, but I'm also kind of not. 2 adequately, both equally well-prepared debaters who keep each other honest. That's one thing. Yo! One person who's researched all of the traps that catch people in versus somebody who just feels strongly about the opposite side of the issue but has a little bit of trouble articulating it does not necessarily make for a convincing case. That's all I'm saying. Hold on, I know this is probably getting tedious for you guys. I got another message from my mother. Okay. You should I get a third ticket for me? Do you think? Okay, let's hold up a second. You know, it's been a busy week. It's been a good week, but it is a busy week. It is going to get even busier. It's busy with leisure, so I'm not complaining. But, you know, for the past week or so, you know, the games in the World Juniors that are in Vancouver are on quite early. Some of them are at 1 p.m. Some of them, and we haven't been going to a lot of the 1 p.m. games because, you know, unless they have Canada in them, it's kind of hard to justify, you know, being like, I'm not going to take a work day today. I'm going to go see Switzerland versus Denmark. I don't know. I laughed, but probably nobody else laughed. Either way, not that it wouldn't be entertaining, but, you know, you gotta pick your battles. You know, I'm already seeing enough hockey this week. But I've been waking up early, doing like, you know, 3/4 of a work day, going to see a hockey game, and then coming back and, you know, I'm not going to be dishonest, occasionally throwing like another 1/8 of a work day on top of that, but usually just cooking dinner and enjoying my evenings in the holiday season here. But now that my parents are here, it's an added layer of complexity on top of that. So it's good. It's good to be busy with leisure. I can do it either way. You know, I like to be, and we've done, you know, holidays in both ways, you know? When we were in Iceland, we did get around. We saw stuff in Iceland, but we also slept like 10 hours a day, 11 hours a day, and it ruled. I maybe at one point in my life had that Walter Mitty wanderlust, where you're like, if I'm on vacation, I'm getting 4 hours of sleep a night. I gotta see everything there is to see in this magical world. It's a good attitude, but eventually you realize, you know, there's beautiful stuff to see for sure, but people everywhere are people, you know? Things do change city to city, but at some point, you know, I don't know, you can only see so... I use Japan as an example because it's like a bucket list opportunity for a lot of people. You know, you can only see so many temples. You can only walk through Akihabara so many times before you're like, you know what, I think my time right now would be better served getting a nap. Or even watching an episode of Game of Thrones in my Airbnb. Don't at me. Dude, this run bangs now. I love it. That's probably where I'm going to opt out of the D8. It gave us damage. I think it gave us tears as well. And I'm gonna call it. I'm going to take Teleport. I don't think Teleport is a 10 out of 10 item. But I think it's worth grabbing here. Sorry, I'm not walking in any coherent direction. Anyway, so we'll grab this. I'm trying to think. How are we going to use this effectively? We would still like a speed upgrade, but it's non-urgent. The poison damage we got is very nice. This run's been merciful so far, even with the health downgrade. Magic Mush, wonderful pickup. Everything's coming up Millhouse right now. We do want to see error rooms, but no complaints whatsoever. So we've done the like when we were in the UK, it was awesome and it sucked. This was like almost 4 years ago now, but we were busy every single day. You know, we woke up at 4 in the morning because of jet lag. And we were like, okay, so like St. Paul's Cathedral opens at 8 a.m. We're going to go to St. Paul's Cathedral. Then we're going to go to, like, you know, this district. And then we're going to, okay, this museum opens up here. And then we got tickets for this and blah, blah, blah. And it was awesome. We packed in a lot of stuff. And then we arrived back in Vancouver and we were tired. It was a good tired. Again, I think it's good to be busy with leisure. It's a privileged opportunity. But I think, you know, there's also a little guilt motivation of like, it is an XL floor, okay. You know, we're in a place that's not our own. We got to maximize our time here. And, you know, a vacation or a holiday is just that. You know, if you want to... As long as you're not staying in your apartment or hotel out of a sense of, like, fear. I might regret this, but, okay, we took the safe way. As long as you're not, like, you know, trapped in your hotel and you're like, I would like to go outside, but I'm nervous because I don't speak the language or something, so I'm just going to stay in here, order a hamburger on room service, and be good to go. As long as you're genuinely like, I'm a tired boy, I want to sleep, then that's fine. Or if you're like, I want to get out there and experience everything the city's got to offer, hey, more power to you. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. Infamy, helpful, and we're getting a lot of free items here. I'm very thankful for the HP, by the way, don't get me wrong. The HP we got from that item room, that is. I'm just saying, you know, like, personally, I'm glad we didn't go for, the number one, just because number one is a high risk, high reward item. I love it. It probably, because our tiers are already good, it probably isn't worth as much. And I'm very wary about using this teleport, by the way, because I don't want to error room ourselves out of 2 boss items and a remaining item room. But you know what? Actually, we can use it all the time now, because we have the Joker card to bail us out, I think. Assuming, what if you got an error room and then used a Joker card? Where would it spit you out, do you think? You think it would spit you out in the error room? Or do you think it would spit you out in the room that you used the teleport on in the first place? I don't know. You know, it's one of those Isaac Mythbusters things that, you know, it's so niche, it's unlikely to matter at all. Except in, you know, a very, very small handful of situations. I would like to say this run is still losable. It's got a long way to go before I start to get worried, but there is a loss in here somewhere. And I'm not using Joker yet. We will use it. In fact, we'll use it probably like right now. Yeah, sure. Shard of Glass. And dude, Succubus is great. But we do want to keep in mind things could go wrong. With only 2 HP, Succubus is incredible with our damage stat here, but we really want to pick up a little bit of support in the defense department. Hopefully this helps. Because, you know, all it takes is one bad room at this point to kill us. So we'll take Rosary Bead. It's one of those items where I'm like, I don't know what it does, but I know what's good for you. It's like riboflavin, you know? If you ask me, you know, what's riboflavin's role in the body, protein synthesis, I got no idea, right? All I know is that if something's high in riboflavin, I go, it's high in riboflavin. And then I'm like, guess I'll buy these Little Debbie snack cakes. How could they be bad for you? They're high in riboflavin. Just scared. The Emperor. Well, it's definitely a secret room, but we gotta save our bombs. I even use it right here. I stand by that decision until the end of time. 2 Spirit Hearts for a single bomb. A-okay in my book. We'll definitely take both of these. And there's options is extremely good at helping us get HP or other related measures from the boss. This run is looking solid, and we're coming dangerously close to 20 wins in a row. I don't want to, you know, discount the next 3 or 4 runs that we're, you know, potentially gonna have. But, dude, we're doing A-okay right now. And we've been in a good run, and the runs have been keeping us honest. Not every single one of them has been easy clap, you know what I mean? I've been doing this thing that people really like and don't get annoyed by, which is referring to my emotions based on the Twitch emotes that best represent them. I'm living that easy clap lifestyle right now, but we were extremely Monka-S on the last run. Lest you think this is a shot at someone, go refer to my tweet from December 27th. I said, good game, Switzerland, easy clap, good luck against Denmark. And then I said, just kidding, I was extremely what face. Mind you, I don't actually do that. I do that self-awarely. We have 2 HP. Perfect time to fight Krampus. You know what? I think we do want Krampus's head. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some. I'll, in the interest of, you know, do you want to share that with the rest of the class? I'll read her messages. Just tell me how to. Okay, my dad and I are going to see the game. I'm going to work out in the hotel gym. Just tell me how to get him to you. Should he grab a taxi? I can pick him up and bring him here. Then we can go together. That sounds good. All right. So we should be sorted. No interruptions for the rest of the video. Mom! Hey, thanks for squeezing me out 30 years ago, Mom. Really appreciate it. Now stop texting me. I'm playing video games. Jeez. You know, the nerve of some people. I didn't text that to her, by the way, in case you thought I was still writing. Instead, I said, hello, dearest mother. It is I, your favorite and only son. I'm gonna go to the cursed room. You know why? P-A-R-T-Y, because I gotta. I got one more message. So what time should he be downstairs? No. I will text when I leave, but certainly not before this time. God, Mom! Dad better buy me a jersey at the game. Not a replica either, but a real one. Oh, did I get out before I took damage? I don't think so. I already know, like, me and my dad are very, very similar. You know, this is like the World Juniors. My parents have been watching it, you know, since it's a big deal in Canada. They've been watching it since they were kids. This is the first time they've ever been to the games live. Probably also the last time. Because, you know, it only comes around to a city that's relevant to you unless you're going to travel for it specifically. You know, like once every, I don't know. Not that often, let's put it that way. You know, unless you're making a special trip to get there. They're not going to be in my parents' hometown. They probably won't be in Vancouver again until, I mean, at the earliest, no joke, like, I would think 2030. So it's a long ways out. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. We're both going to go to the arena and be like, we should get a jersey. And then we're going to walk into the store and we're going to be like, $200? Are you crazy? I could go to Sport Check in July and get 2 of them for that price. And it's great, by the way, because we're right. But to thine own self be true. Anyway, where were we on this run? I don't know. I was using my phone like a real millennial. I don't know why. Like, I'm feeling mildly bereft on this run. If you'll excuse me. I have one more text message. Mr. Popular, hello. Alrighty. We're good. That's the last one. I've been giving you rules for life, alright? Because, like, as a streamer, I don't always think that streamers are a good influence. And part of that is I think that, well, where am I going with this? Dude, so many free items on this run. We've been so lucky. Part of it is that I don't think streamers, myself included, live the best lifestyle all the time. And part of it is sometimes I think that you know, we can be inside of our own little bubble that is kind of ignorant of the rest of the world. So I like to give you some actionable pieces of feedback. Like, here's a non-actionable piece of feedback. Be grateful. You can't do anything with that. You know, oh, this streamer said I should be grateful for the things in my life. Guess I'll stop being sad. It's not possible, right? That's non-feedback. Well-meaning, probably, but simultaneously useless feedback. Here's one for you. When your mom or your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, etc., or your dad, somebody very close to you, when they text you, text them back. You might not be able to take that advice under advisement. And, you know, I'm basically saying, like, you know, if you work at a place where your boss will be like, you know, we don't pay you to sit down, you know, it's going to be tough. And obviously your boss doesn't want you texting, you know, all day, every day. But if you can get away with it, certainly, what a horrible selection of items. If you're in your free time, text them back right away. I could be better about it, for sure. You know what happens to me a lot? Is that I'll get like a text from my mom, and it'll even be like well-meaning on my end. You know, I'll look at my phone, because I only look at my phone like, usually on an average day, I look at my phone when I wake up and when I go to bed. So I wake up, I read, you know, one article, and then I don't look at my phone again until like 9 p.m. And then the same article is still up. Like nothing has changed. But sometimes I'll have a text from my mom that's like, hey, just wanted to say I love you. And I'm like, God, told you to only text me if it's something important, Mom. In case it's not abundantly clear, I love my parents. I'm just being facetious. to highlight the fact that I'm anxious about the fact that some people might be like, he shouldn't be texting during the video. I'm going overboard by making myself the bad guy so that I can play it up as a joke later. It's a little cognitive trick I use to keep the anxiety at bay. But, you know, I'll get the message, and I won't reply right when I see it because it's 9 p.m. And I go, well, that means it's midnight in EST. My parents are asleep, and they probably don't put their phone on silent because they're old. So I think that, you know, they'll wake up to the chime. And they'll be happy to see the message, but simultaneously, the nicest message in the world, you still don't want it to wake you up. You know, you'd rather see it in the morning. So I'm like, I'll text her back in the morning. And then I forget until I, you know, get another message from my mom, and I see that, oh, received 6 days ago, no reply. And then I'm like, by the way, love you too. Thanks for the reminder. Sorry about that, by the way. She's very understanding. I've told her to be less understanding, to be honest. She lets me get away with being derelict in my communication. She shouldn't. She should be like, I'm a little mad. But she's very nice about it. Which makes it too easy for me to, you know, not keep up the habit when I should be keeping it up, you know? You get the idea. But you always want to reply ASAP. If it's something you can put on the back burner from somebody else, okay. But, you know, a couple of specific people, I don't care if I'm in the middle of, you know, streaming, don't keep talking and nobody explodes. I see the text message come up, and it says sender Kate. I'm opening it. You know, that's what I'm here for, basically. Sometimes the text messages are like unimportant stuff, like, hey, I'm trapped in blah, can you come get me? And I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't see it. But sometimes it's very important, like, hey, I'm at this restaurant, what would you like for lunch? And I'm like, oh, tendies. No, but it's, you know, it's your job to be there. It's the same, it's like, you know, if you got a text from your child, you know? I'm sure when my mom gets a text from me, and I know because we share DNA. Not that way, you sickos, but like, so it was a really bad time for a burp. Kind of ruined my comedic timing, just made it seem creepy. But either way, hold on, what do we got here? I know that whenever she sees a text from me, the first thing that comes to her head is probably like, he's dead. He's on a plane, and, you know, it's hurtling down towards Earth. They just re-entered cellular service range, and he's texting me to say, you know, I love you, but we're gonna die. I know it's the first thing that comes to her head. So she's picking up the phone immediately upon seeing that I texted her. I should have the same attitude, you know? And I don't yet, but I should. Dude, I'm actually getting a little freaked. This run's getting a little touchy. Keep in mind. You know what? I'll just level with you. We made a mistake. It's not a major one yet, but we did make a mistake. We should not have taken Pentagram. Pentagram is all... Thank you. Pentagram is almost always takeable. That was bad. It was not necessary in this situation. We will probably still be fine. But we've been a little bit... This is like... It's why context matters in Isaac, right? Because, like... Every item we've taken has led to us having a statistically fantastic run. However... With the context of us not having that much HP, but having an incredibly statistically good run already, why would you give up 1/3 of your HP to raise your damage by 15%? You know, at this late in the game, it doesn't matter. So we should have been smarter about that, which is what I'm doing right now. Is doing my due diligence. Another very, very fast run. You might think I'm mad about the map. You would be incorrect. The map is HP. Everything in Isaac is one of two things. It's HP or damage. This one is HP. It helps us get to the boss faster, which saves us HP. I believe that, by the way. I believe that almost every item in the game can be turned into either damage or HP. And what's weird is that HP can be turned into damage, and damage can be turned into HP. The more damage you have, the less HP you're going to lose. The more HP you have, the more damage you can take. I think we'll pop Strength, which is a little reckless. But I don't want to pop High Priestess, because it's better served to dust one of the tough rooms on the chest. And we are about to get a delicious item injection. Not like that, you sickos. If I could do this run over again, here's the thing. We're very likely to win. What we did not need to do was win with this much of a dominant damage stat. I would much rather have double the HP and a third of the damage. Or 2/3 of the damage, sorry. I would lose 1/3 of the damage to get a little bit more HP. And these are not really great items. Because we have starter deck, though, we'll definitely blow this up. Emperor. Beautiful! But first, Wheel of Fortune. Ooh. 2 High Priestess. Oh, there's some Judgments as well. I will play this Judgment. So we'll definitely win, and I owe you an apology yet again. It's not, yet another very, very, very fast run. But I apologize for nothing. Here's how I'm going to make it up to you. First off, Purity did not give us a Tears bonus, so I will take Soy Milk. I think I can live with that. Emperor, High Priestess, sounds good to me. Really sucks for Succubus. He's like, I used to be something. I used to be a somebody. Then my handler picked up Soy Milk and it all went belly up. But this, you know, it's working out okay. And dude, we have been on a hot streak lately. I'm feeling like $1,000,000. Maybe a little bit quick. You know, there's still stuff to remember about this episode. Slow down. That's a big one. You know, all these fast wins, they're bombastic right now, but you're building some bad habits maybe. And secondarily, and in keeping with the first point, actually, don't... like, look at every deal with the devil. Just because you look... Even, there's some situations, you know, if you got 2 red hearts and a spirit heart and Mom's Knife shows up, maybe you don't take Mom's Knife. Maybe it's more important to give yourself a little buffer to stay alive. Everybody knows this. It's just remembering to put it into practice. For now, though, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, though, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya.